Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our flood impacted district superintendent huddle. We shifted these to every other week, just as we approach the holidays, and there was a strong desire among flood impacted superintendents to continue these leading up to the new year. So this will be our last one until that new year. And one of the things that we'll need to do is talk about do we wish to continue these in some form in the new year, and what is the frequency of those? But as is our usual cadence and rhythm with these, I'd like to start with just recognizing the superintendents that are on to give us any updates on how things are going in their communities. So I see a few of you on, so please just unmute yourselves as the spirit moves you, and let us know what's going on in your community.
I'll go first. Good morning. Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Letcher County, things are moving fast. It's real exciting. We are sprinting to the finish. We're going to get kids back on campus at Martha Jane Potter on January 2nd. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and praying a lot. The next 2 weeks are going to be very busy, but we're in the process of moving desks and students and teachers' materials back into Martha Jane Potter. So it's been very exciting. And I want to say thank you to KASA for their coat drive and donations. We've been able to distribute some coats to families and staff, and then we have more to give out, and then money as well to purchase what we would need for anybody that needs winter clothing. So it's been a very busy few weeks, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's incredible. And Denise, are any of your schools being used for any holiday distribution areas or anything like that?
Yes, we have done that for the past week, actually. And I think our last distribution was yesterday at our high school. We had a centralized location and did some distribution out of our high school yesterday. But I think we've got that done at this point.
Excellent. And I may have missed this, but do you have, are your students out already?
Yes, they got out on the 16th.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And others?
Commissioners, this is Damien Johnson with Jenkins. We got out on the 16th as well. Things are progressing here. Our preschool is scheduled to be demoed next week, and our site is prepared for a fence to go back up for our playground. We're going to cut a few trees while the fencing is down. It's a good time to do that before those get any bigger, and they've got a place to fall them. So we're going to get that done before we do that. But as soon as we get those trees on the ground, we'll have the fencing up so that our kids can get back outside when the weather permits.
Good progress, Damien. Do you have, are your kids out of school already too?
Yeah, we were out on the 16th. We've had a lot of support with people coming in and providing us with gifts and supplies for our kids for Christmas. It's been truly humbling. KSA came and stopped by and saw us as well with their coat drive and provided us with some support. And we're actually having a giveaway here at the high school today.
Excellent. Great to hear. Others?
Commissioner, I'll go. Everything's moving right along. Like they said, KSA has been a huge support in the coat drive, and they sent a check to purchase coats in the event that we didn't get enough donated. We've had Save the Children came in and did some Christmas toys and presents out of our high school parking lot last Thursday or Friday one. And then the governor and First Lady were actually at Buckhorn Lodge, and they gave out toys and supplies to flood victims. And it was not just Perry County, but there were several people from Breathitt County there as well. I talked with the director of the lodge. There's only one family that's still there, being housed there, so they're hopeful they can find them some a more long-term housing as soon as the holidays are over. But everything's going as good as we can expect. I mean, you know, we are in talks with trying to find property for Robinson School, and then contractors have been on site at Buckhorn. to start the renovation process there. That renovation is a huge renovation. There's a lot that's going to have to go into that, so that's going to take some time. And Robinson, it's just hard to find property that was in that community that wasn't impacted by the flood. That would be large enough for a school campus. So that's a concern that we have. Just find a property on that river, where it was flooded, and because that's the last thing you want to do is invest tens of millions of dollars in a facility and something happen again. Now, granted, that this was probably a 1,000-year flood, as everybody refers to it, but it did happen once, and so that's always a concern. We've lost some families that have moved away permanently. Not as many as we originally thought, but we have lost some people that have just moved away and left everything, basically.
Well, thank you, John. I know that you're doing all you can, and I know that this is likely the last meeting that we'll have with you in that superintendent chair in Perry County. So just want to say on behalf of all of us at KDE, what a delight it's been working with you, and you've done an amazing job for Perry County and been a great superintendent. So thanks for all those years of service, and we're sure going to miss you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I miss all of you all. I'm a phone call away. Okay. But I attend my last board meeting tonight. So that's going to be a really good feeling.
Right.
But thank you all.
Right. Thank you, John. Thanks, others.
Sandra Combs, Hazard Independent. Can you all hear me?
We can.
Okay.
Go right ahead, Sandra.
Okay. We're doing well, except for attendance, of course. But before Christmas break, our last day was the 16th. We took probably 50 kids shopping for clothing and items they need. We have several of our families that are back in their homes now. We've distributed toys, food, clothing, and household items. And so hopefully everything will be back to normal and all the illness will be over so we can get consistent attendance in school and hit all the standards and instructional minutes that we need for our kids. But wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And if you need anything, give me a call.
Thank you, Sandra.
Commissioner Glass, Wayne Sizemore Jackson. Just sorry that I hopped on late, but we've been doing a couple of things here. But I do want to give two shout outs. CASA did an incredible job on their coat drive, and we received a huge monetary donation from them this past week. And can't say enough about Dr. Rhonda Caldwell and the group there at CASA for their support, and that will get into the hands of our families and our students who need clothing for the wintertime. So very appreciative of that. Toys for Tots out of Louisville did a tremendous job of bringing in new toys for all families, but also for our students who were impacted by the flood. So just want to give a huge thanks to that group as well. We're kicking in. It's very quiet around here for once, so we're going to enjoy the calmness and everybody have a great Christmas and a great New Year's, and we'll just keep plugging along. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Philip from Breathitt County Schools. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all this KDE staff, all the other superintendents, and anyone else on the call. We really appreciate everyone and hope everyone can take some time to spend with their friends and family and rest. Just echo what everybody else is saying. I guess one of the things that we were excited about last week, thanks to some of Robin's team members and the facility group and a whole lot of engineers and architects and all the above, help us close on a piece of property. It's about 8.5, 9 acres. So we're excited about that. We purchased an old manufacturing building here in town that's close, and we've got options for a bus garage, and we've got options for an ATC, and we've also maybe got an option for vocational school being up at Lee's College. So just a lot of things to work through, but at least we know we've got temporary homes now. What we're going to do long term to make things better for our students. So that's exciting. A lot of work taking place around the high school campus. I don't know if everybody realized how hard it actually got hit, but we got the flood in 21, and then we followed it up with the historic flood in 22. So we're in the mode of getting everything cleaned back up again, but also working to maybe move some stuff off campus so we don't have to clean up after the floods. Just really thankful for all the donations, as everyone's talked about. I think they've hit on all the groups. Walmart did stop by. They done some pretty nice stuff for us last week, I think. And there's so many groups. I hate to name them all. You all talked about KASA and the different groups, and just looking forward to, as Sandra said, get back into school January and try to get some instructional minutes in and get back to normal. Our kids are missing out on a lot of learning. So excited about the education aspect after Christmas, and we pray attendance rebounds.
Thank you, Philip. Good progress out of Breathitt County. Thanks for all your work. I think we've been able to recognize all the superintendents that are on. Is there anyone that I missed? I know that Brent from Knott County, he may not be able to be on, and Brian put in the chat that the governor is holding an event at 1:30 today to talk about some of the rebuilding efforts in Eastern Kentucky, and Brent may be part of that because I think it's going to affect his community. We won't steal the governor's thunder, but it will be an exciting announcement, I think. Let's shift to any information from our team. I know that we've got Robin Kinney on with us and members of her team, and Robin Morley. Any updates from the KDE Office of Finance and Operations in terms of support or anything that you'd like to provide, Robin, or Shay, or anyone from our OFO?
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to continue to remind districts to stay in really good contact with your FEMA representatives and also representatives from Kentucky Emergency Management. As you continue to have your weekly, I think you're still having weekly or bi-weekly meetings with those folks, especially if you're doing any type of demolition, construction, any work that relates to actually your building facilities themselves. They have some protocols that you have to go through in order to access the FEMA funds. So just make sure that you're asking all the questions you can of those folks and making them responsible to give you good information. So we hate for anything to happen. We get down toward the part where you're looking for the reimbursement and they say, well, you didn't do steps 1, 2, and 3, and you're not eligible. So just continue to be very participatory in those meetings. We know that some of you have consultants that are also representing you, but it's really important that you have someone from the district actively participating in those calls. So just a reminder so that when we get to the end, we can get the reimbursement from FEMA in a timely and efficient manner. I think that's all that I have as a reminder from my office. I'll defer to Robin Morley or Che or anybody else that's on the call.
Thanks, Robin. We'll pause for just a second for any of your team members if they have anything to add. And I know that we've got Valoria on with us too from our federal partners, and anything that she'd want to add. We'll go to that next. We'll just pause for a second. Okay, hearing no other updates from the Office of Finance and Operations. Valoria, are you on with us? Do you have any federal updates for us?
Not really any updates. We're going into holiday mode as well. I think most of our team will be spending our first Christmas in Kentucky. So I'm really looking forward to that because it is so beautiful here. But wanted to really just echo what Robin was saying about the keeping the communication open. Whether you have a consultant or not, just be aware that you still have a team. You still have a very, very big team. You've still got your state liaison, you've got your PDMG, you've got your people in mitigation, you got your people, in EHP. All of those people are still a part of your team. Everybody, your whole team if you need, will show up on your campus with scanners. You know, just the other thing is if you are not familiar with how to navigate grants portal, get with your liaisons so that they can show you how to navigate grants portal, because that is where your information is coming from. You need to know whether FEMA is waiting for documents. You need to know whether, it's been a month or so. Some of you guys actually have projects, millions of dollars that are actually sitting and waiting because FEMA's waiting for an invoice and an insurance document from you. And that's all that they need is an invoice and insurance documentation so that you can get those reimbursements. So again, if you do not know how to navigate grants portal, your liaison will certainly show you how to do that, so that you're able to go in on a weekly basis and find out what the status of your projects are. The last thing that I want you to keep in mind is the responsibility, as far as FEMA is concerned and as far as the state is concerned, is going to lie with the responsible party at the district level. And I just cannot stress enough how important it is that you know every single nuance of everything that's going on with your project. Any question that is asked, you should be able to either answer it or be able to go to grants portal and find that information. And again, we will help you. That's why we're here. We're here to give you that education. We're here to help you, heaven forbid, if there's another flood, even if there's a flood where you only get 6 inches of water or a foot of water or something, and you have to do this process again. We want you to know how to navigate things and how to be as self-sufficient as you possibly can. So, definitely lean on us for those resources, because we're here. That is all.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Valoria. We appreciate you as always. And as Robin noted, you may need a winter coat. I think you moved from Arizona, and we have a mildly different weather pattern in the winter here than Arizona. So it's a little different. And last year, I think it was 70 on Christmas. And this year, it looks like it might be 70 degrees less than that. So it's quite a shift in the last year. Any other updates from our team or from Valoria, and then we'll turn things over to our superintendents to see if they have any questions. And then I'd like to end just with us talking a little bit about what is the pace and frequency that we'd like to continue these in the next year if there's a desire for that. So any other updates from KDE or from Valoria?
Not from me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, hearing none. Any questions that we have from superintendents or other information that we want to make sure that has been shared with the group? Okay, hearing none. Let's talk about, do we want to continue these meetings in the new year? Of course, we've got the legislative session coming up. There may be a need for additional supports for flood impacted districts in that we may want to meet and continue to talk about. Certainly, there's a lot of discussion and concern around the use of ADA for funding for next year and what that might mean. But that's an issue that really is larger than Eastern Kentucky. It's impacting practically every district in the state. So I'll turn it over to you. And we said when we started these that we would meet with you as long and at whatever cadence you felt was right. So let's have a conversation about that. Or there is also the possibility, and this happened with our Western Kentucky friends. They said, we've seen enough of you, and we wish to end these meetings, and we were happy to oblige that sentiment as well.
Well, since I made the recommendation to do every 2 weeks, and I'm the only one that won't be here after the holidays, I'll say plan on not doing them if something comes up, they could reach out. Does that sound good for everybody?
Okay, so moved, Superintendent Jett. Okay, well, it sounds like that's hearing no objections. Anyone else? I'll pause and just see if anyone else feels differently. We certainly don't mind to meet with you again if there's value in that, but also recognize that all of you are very busy people, and we don't want to take up any more of your time than is necessary. Okay, we'll take silence as support, Superintendent Jett. So this will be our last flood impacted district huddle. We will continue to stay in touch with you via email if there are things that come up. And of course, you know, and I hope that we've demonstrated anything that happens where you need our individual support specific to something for your district, please reach out to myself, to Robin Kinney, to Robin Morley, and we will work and do whatever we can to support you in that. All of you have a great holidays. I know that this is been a challenging year, to say the least, for you and your communities. You deserve some rest too, and I hope you get it over the next couple of weeks and come back refreshed and ready for 2023. Thanks, everybody.